I'm excited to give you a little glimpse into the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch 2024 digital planner. This is new this year, and I've made some changes to it that I'm very excited about. I will be showing you everything today utilizing my iPad. I do know that it works on Samsung's and Google's and any PDF annotation software, but I primarily work on iPad and GoodNotes 6 is my preferred program to use, so that's what I'm going to be using today. I figured I'd kill a couple birds with one stone and go ahead and give a brief tutorial on how things work as well. So if you're newer to the program, what you're going to have wanted to do is download the file from the Etsy shop and save it onto somewhere that you're going to be able to locate. I tend to save everything straight to my desktop, but I have everything in a file that I can then just go straight to desktop, and I have the documents in my planner demos that I'm going to want to be showing you today. I'm going to go ahead and open GoodNotes, and I'm going to import the file. So to do that, you're going to go to this new box up in the left corner and hit plus and select import and find wherever you have that document saved. Mine's opening up to my desktop, so I'm going to select that folder, select what file it is that I want to bring into GoodNotes, and hit open. It's going to just take it a second to import the document. And we're going to go ahead and get started. I just want to note as well that most of these files are also available in printable form if you're not a digital person, so you can feel free to find them that way. This is the GoodNotes beginning page. Whenever you open it, you're going to be able to see up at the top that right now it shows a pen, a keyboard, and a microphone. When you see those three symbols, it's going to be noting to you that you are in the link enabled mode. When you go ahead and want to be in the edit mode, you're going to click maybe the pencil, and it's going to allow you to write on the PDF, or you can add photos or stickers or whatever it is that you want to add, but you're not going to be able to click the links when it's in this mode. So if the links aren't functioning for you, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have this pen not selected. On the beginning page, you're going to see that there are 4 dividers that are going to be able to get you started. You've got the 2024 planner, the marathons, extras, and an add your own section that I'll talk about in a little bit. You can also swipe through the pages. So if you go ahead and swipe this page, it's going to get you straight to our getting started. It gives a little background on what 24 Hours of Cross Stitch is and the different types of challenges that you're going to see in the planner this year. Our theme this year is the bucket list. So everything is going to be tied to a different bucket for each month through the year. Clicking on the FAQ up in the top right corner will always bring you back to this page. I'm going to save add-ons for a little bit later, and we'll come back to that. And we're going to go ahead and move through the planner and the different things that you can see. I'm going to highlight and select the 2024 planner section. This section indicates anything that is going to be based on the year. So anything that's going to be in yellow is that's going to be a page that's going to kind of go throughout the entire year. I'm a very color-coded person, so hopefully that works for your brain as well. On the left-hand side of each section, you're going to see a dashboard page. And this dashboard page is going to indicate to you what documents you're going to be able to find in each section. Each one has a kind of symbol based that will show you. So you've got planning and calendar, tracking, challenges, reflection, photos, papers, and miscellaneous. And then each one of the sections tells you what's in there. For instance, this planner section is going to include, over on the right, you can see a yearly planning page, which is the page we're on right now, monthly highlights and focus, and some sticker storage. So if I wanted to get to the monthly highlights and focus page, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select the symbol there, and it's going to take me to a monthly highlights and a monthly focus. You can use this however you want. I try to pick some focus projects for the month on the right-hand side, and then I also just indicate some things that I'm looking forward to at the beginning of the month, at beginning of the year, or kind of helps keep me on track. Stickers are also a big thing in digital planning, and I am working on some. I'm not sure if they'll be ready when this is out yet, but they're coming soon. So hopefully you can source some of your stickers here that you like to use as you're going about your planner. The second section in the yellow yearly section is the calendar section. Each one of these, I do have two versions of the planner available. One is going to be a Sunday start, which I prefer, or there's a Monday start. So you can purchase whichever one, or I'm not sure how I'm going to have it yet, but you can get whatever one you would prefer to have. This yearly calendar, I spaced it out a little bit more this year, so you kind of have a spread to see what you can expect the year to look like. And then if you click here below that, that's also going to give you a link to a perpetual calendar. You can indicate different holidays or birthdays or stitching events that you're excited about for the year. For yearly tracking, you're going to be able to have a stitching tracker on the left that's going to be able to, I like to indicate maybe the days that I stitched out of that month, or when I was counting times, I would I would indicate how many hours I stitched during that day, however you want to kind of keep your data. And then you can total it and keep it there. On the right, you'll also have just a yearly tracker sheet. Maybe you want to track something else. Any of these pages can be duplicated. So if you wanted an additional one of these, all you would have to do is hit the plus. And it's been a little bit since I've done this. So you're not going to hit the plus. You're going to hit the little 3 buttons. And you're going to hit... I don't know what you're going to hit. You can duplicate them though. Current template. So that's just going to give me a duplicative of that same page if you wanted it. And to get to that, then you're just going to have to swipe to that other side. The links will still function as they would before. If you go to New Starts, it's going to list, and this is a page, for instance, that you might want to be able to add more to, depending if you're like me and start all the things. You're going to want to be able to add more. They are not numbered, so that you can feel free to add what you need. Also have a spot to add some 2024 finishes, some FFOs throughout the month, spot to track those purchases if you feel like it, and even an itemized expense tracker, so you can keep a little bit more detail. Everything is going to be color coded, so all the months here link up to the month colors on the dividers. Then we go into challenges. We have 2 challenges for this year. We have the alphabet challenge, which is one where you are encouraged to pick out some big goals. What are those projects I like to try for finishes for my alphabet challenge, and tie it to each one of those letters. Doesn't have to be a big finish. It could be a page finish. It could be whatever is your level of commitment for these. And then we also have a shopping challenge. The shopping challenge challenges you to support our industry, support the shops that we get our products from. So maybe go to 12 or 24 different shops. Both the stitching or the shop and the alphabet challenge will link to a photo album so that you can include memories for these. So for instance, I'm back on the alphabet challenge now, and I'm going to go ahead and click the A. It's going to take me to a photo album page that has a layout for 4 of the letters of the alphabet, A, B, C, D. These do link, they do not link to each other. So you're going to just, if you need to get to a different page, you can either swipe through, and they are in the order of the alphabet, or you can go back to your challenges and click a different letter to get there. Sorry for the coughing, it is the season. You can just going to take a brief minute to show you how to import photos, because I just want to make sure you know how to do that. So in order to add a photo, what you're going to do is you're going to go to that edit mode, and you're going to select this picture here. If it's a recent photo, you can see that they come up in the right hand corner in a menu, but maybe you need to peruse through your photo albums. If you just click that twice, it's going to bring up the opportunity to go through albums, and you can select, maybe you have everything stored in, this was my ABC challenge from last year. So we're on A, maybe this was A. Yes, it was. And then I can just resize the photo. I can put where I was at the beginning of the year, and then if I was able to finish it, I can track in the progress photo by the end of the year. So those are the challenges, and again, that is available for the shopping challenge as well. You can go ahead, I'm going to go back into link mode, and I can go back to challenges, If I go to shopping, I can also link to, I want to keep track of what shop I shopped at and supported, or maybe what my purchases were. So that is there for you. Also have a reflection page where you can indicate some of your favorites from the year, what went well, what didn't, or whatnot. The photo section, this gives you a blank photo album page of just maybe highlights that you want to keep track of, and then also links to the photo alphabet challenge and shopping challenge photos. Each section will also include a papers route. I do this because I like color coding and I didn't want to just have one available. So each section will have a notes page, a to-do page, a grid in case you need to chart anything out, and then also a blank page in case you want to just doodle or add whatever you need. In the addition, the miscellaneous, the 2024 yellow section and the black section include a miscellaneous where you can do various additions to the notebook. So perhaps you're doing a different stitching challenge, but you wanted to be able to keep track of it right and ready. You can go ahead and put it behind one of these dividers. So I can go ahead and I can click the, oh, 1 second there. I can click these 1, 2, 3, or 4, and it's going to take me to the divider for that section, and I can import anything that I would like to onto that page. And like I said, the yellow and the black have room for 4. All of the other months will have room for 1 other section that you can do that will be linked for you. And there's some little instructions over there on the left. If you go into each month, I'm not going to share every month, but we'll go ahead and look at what January has for you. Again, I try to be as consistent as possible in my layouts. So the dashboard section is going to indicate for you all of the things that are available in the month. So for the planning section, you've got your planning page and then also a sticker storage page. If you go to the calendar, you're going to have a 2-page daily calendar that is dated, or not daily calendar, monthly calendar that is dated. Then it will link to a weekly calendar. This is undated, and you can duplicate them as you need, or a daily calendar. Again, undated, and you can duplicate as you need. If you're interested in a dated version of the monthly, weekly, daily calendars, I do have an add-on pack available that I will be able to share with you. And you can even import it into this document so you don't have to go in and out. But I know that's not for everybody, so I didn't want to bog down. These files get to be pretty large and Etsy has a size limit. So I separated them out this year, but I'll go over that in a little bit. There is also in each month real briefly, let me just share what's in each of the weekly planning page. I kept it pretty basic this year because I wanted to leave room for you to make the spreads as open-ended as you wanted, and maybe add stickers for your tracking and whatnot. So it's a horizontal layout this year. I think I switched from vertical. And like I said, this will be available on a Sunday or a Monday start. So whichever you prefer, you can utilize. And then the daily version has the 24 hours of the day. I know typically they only do 12, but this is 24 hours of cross stitch. I need to keep it open for those late night stitchers, and a spot to indicate your goals and your stitching projects and anything else that you want to note for that day. As far as tracking goes, one new thing that is here this year is a WIP tracking. I get a lot of questions about my size-based categories, and I thought that maybe it would be helpful to have the information available for everyone. So I give the examples on how to add the stitch counts, and then you can keep track of what projects you've been stitching for the month, the WIPs that you had going into the month, new starts that you had, finishes, and then what your total WIPs is at the end of the month if you total all that up. On the right here is a calendar page that you can record the days that you have stitched for at least 24 minutes. And then if you go ahead and click on the habit tracking, it's going to bring you to a habit tracker. On the right, there is a blank habit tracker where you can do whatever you would like. And on the left, it's for stitching those days. New this year, we are doing a bucket list theme. So January's theme is health and wellness. So one of the things that I have listed here are maybe some habits that you'd like to track that are related to health and wellness. If you go into challenges, one of our favorite things with the planner, we have our acrostic challenge. The acrostic challenges, like I said, are all going to be related to the buckets for the month. So like January is health and wellness, so the acrostic will be healthy habits. You don't have to do all the letters. You can try for 12. You can try for them all. And then I also have just kind of a mind map on the right that's going to help you maybe brainstorm some ways that you can add health and wellness to your own bucket list. And then new this year, we have a bucket list challenge. So if you go to the bucket list, you're going to have 5 different challenges for you to think about throughout the month. So, one of the things you could maybe have on a bucket list would be going on a hike. I'm not a hiker, but maybe I would want to put it on my bucket list. So the challenge for that week would be to stitch on a project that has a landscape that you would like to hike or walk through. And you can decide what project, what your goal is, and you can do them in any order that you would like. Then each month, I also give you a spot to determine what's my non-stitching bucket list challenge. Maybe I want to, it's health and wellness. Maybe I want to ride the Peloton that's sitting in my basement. Whatever the things are that you would like to challenge yourself to. Like the challenges in the year-long form, if you go to the acrostic, these will all link to a photo album this year. So I can select the H, and it will give me a spot that I can do my progress photos for there. There are also those bucket list photos. So if I go to bucket list, I can also click on the prompt, and it's going to take me to a spot that I can track that. In the reflection section, just gives you a little bit to think about what you might want to change for next month, how this month went, different things that you are liking to note. You've got your photos, again, just a blank photo spread, a spot to do your acrostic challenges, your bucket lists, challenges, albums are all linked right there. And then the papers is exactly like the year long. And just like the first one, you've got one extra divider for each one of the months. If you go to the beginning of the 2024, I'm going to go back to the yellow section now. This page will tell you what the theme is for each of the bucket lists. So January is health and wellness, February is hobbies, March is entertainment, career, so on and so forth. So everything is going to be tied to those buckets as you're going through. Now let's talk about marathons. Marathon dates are listed here so that you can keep track of when we are proposing the marathons to be. We have a fact sheet that gives you a little bit of information about what you can expect, what the marathons, the whole deal is about them. And then you have a different tab for each one of the 4 scheduled marathons. So if I click the January marathon, I've got marathon planning that is available for me to think about the different things that I might want to note. I've got a page that I can track the marathon tracking. So this would be, the planning is what I'm hoping to do. The tracking would be what actually gets done, as well as a reflection, and then also a photo album for each one of the marathons. There are also papers that would color coordinate with this. And I do have 4 extra sections in this topic so that you can go ahead and add if you're going to be doing any unofficial marathons and want them to be noted in here instead. In addition, there are a few extras included. We have a shopping list tracker and some stickers storage right in the planning section. Some tracking that is available for you. This is all of the WIPs that you would have. This, in my mind, is the ones that are pre-existing coming into 2024. I use the yellow section to just kind of indicate either the WIPs that I have stitched on during 2024 or those new ones that I've brought in. This, for me, would be my comprehensive list. You've also got your project detail pages, a spot to note pattern wish lists, a spot for gifts given and received, and a spot to keep note of those books that you're reading or those audiobooks that you're listening to as you are stitching. Retreats gives you a spot to do just organize those thoughts about your retreats that you'll be going on to, as well as a photo album specifically for those retreats. Stitch along information. I have a SAL tracker. So if you're doing a SAL along with a friend, you can keep track of all of those things, as well as a multi-release tracker. This one does have an example of how to use it. For example, I know Modern Folk, for instance, releases a lot of things each month. So maybe you want to keep track of if you've purchased the different, I don't know if theirs are available as independent downloads, but like country cottage or cottage garden samplings, those are all individual. So maybe there's a month you didn't want to buy, but you want to keep note of the ones that you did. And then you can keep track of whether you've stitched it or not. There's also a floss tube tracking sheet just to keep track of those notes or those projects that you want to remember. Contact list in case you want to keep track. This page can be duplicated, so you can have a page for each letter of the alphabet. To utilize that, I would just go ahead and go to my highlighter and say that this was the A page, and then duplicate it so that the next one was B, and go forth, and then you would be able to slide back and forth between it. You'll also have the papers and then the 4 miscellaneous sections as well. So that's kind of the breakdown of the planner, and then each month emulates the January, so you're going to have a very similar spread throughout it all. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the beginning. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I would add an add-on pack in. We'll start with the calendar. I would put this in my yellow section because it's a yearly based thing. So I'm going to go ahead back into my yellow section, and I'm going to select the miscellaneous. I'm going to go into edit mode and just label this 2024 dated planner. Select out of edit modes. I'm going to click that pen, select out of edit mode, go into this extra, and I'm going to also label it here just to indicate that this is the 2024 dated planner. I'm going to then go and do those 3 little dots. Going to select import. Oh, I'm sorry, not the 3 little dots. I'm going to go ahead and hit the plus sign, and I'm going to hit import. I'm going to find whatever file it is that I want to add. For me right now, it is this calendar pack. I'm going to select open, and it's going to add it, and it will be right behind this page in your planner once it gets added. Give it a second to add in. It has its own cover screen. There are no links on this page, and you have a couple of options. You could delete this page from the planner and just have it erased. That will create a dead link for one of the links in it. But if you wanted to just get rid of this page, you can click these 3 little dots, and you can go to move page to trash, and then this page would be deleted. And then all you're going to see are pages that are similar to the layout of the planner itself. You can tell that you are in the add-on pack because up on the right-hand side here, it doesn't have all of the dividers along the top. It only has the yellow 2024 calendar add-on pack. And along the right-hand side, it has all of the different months. This FAQ link will link you back to this getting started page. So if you do decide to delete the tab or delete the cover page, this calendar add-on page link here will not function. It was linked to that other page, but you can always click the FAQ button to get back to this page, and then all you're going to have to do is swipe left to get back into the planner itself. You can see now I'm back in my planner, and if I'm clicking these links, I can go ahead and click, July, and it's still going to keep me in my regular planner mode. If I want to get specifically to that add-on, I always have to go back into 2024 planner, miscellaneous, my extras, and then just swipe to the right. Now let's look at what is included in the calendar pack. When you go to January, you're going to see a monthly spread. Again, this is going to be available in both a Sunday start and a Monday start. This page differs a little bit from the one that is in your regular digital planner in that you've got these week buttons on the side. These are all link buttons. So everything that links on this page is going to be the weeks down the side, each one of the individual number dates, as well as the notes that will take you to a note section at the end of the month. So let's take a look at what the weeks would look like. So say I want to go to my planner for week number 1. I'm going to click here, and it's going to take me to January 1st through January 6th. I did keep everything in the January section January. So at the end of the month, you're going to see that it has a few blank pages or blank dates like this Sunday does here. You can either write in that is a, December 31st if you would like, or you can go ahead and in the future months, go to the next month to indicate that. Each one of the number dates here, though, will take you to its daily coordinated page. And if you want to get back to the week that you were referencing, you're just going to go ahead and click the date, the week of the weekday, and it will take you back to the week. You can also use this next week feature to move among the weeks. And then like this is particularly to note, like I was talking about that January, it only goes to the 31st. If I click here, it's going to take me to that February 1st, 2nd, 3rd, so that you have them available there as well. If we go to, I'm going to go back to the beginning here. If I click this notes section, it will take me to a notes for each of the months, so that you can keep track of anything that is particularly being notable for that month. And then also each month just functions very similarly. Now to get back to the digital planner, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select that fact page, and I'm going to swipe back to the left, and now you can see that my divider's changed up at the top and I'm back in the digital planner mode. If you wanted to add in the inventory pack, I would add that into the extras section. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the extras. I'm going to go to miscellaneous. I'm going to go into edit mode so that I can indicate where I'm putting the inventory. I'm going to then I think you can just swipe. I'm going to still say, I'm going to indicate on this page as well that I'm going to be adding the inventory. Go back into link mode. I'm going to click the plus sign, select import. This time I'm going to select the inventory, and I'm going to hit open. Same thing, it's got that cover page that's going to denote to you that you're moving from planner to add-on. I'm going to leave the divider page here now just so it gives me that clean cut. And if I go into the planner add-on pack, I've got it set up the same way, so you're going to be able to tell that you're in the add-on pack and not the actual planner. See, as I was referencing before, we deleted the cover page, but this one will take me to that cover page here. So since I'm leaving it, I've got my FAQ page, and the FAQ will get you back there. For the inventory that you will have available for tracking, they have a fabric inventory list. You can get to any of the pages that are in this section by clicking the titles here on the left. The fabric inventory list also includes a number reference, and the reason I did that was because I also included a photo album, so that maybe you wanted to take a picture of what piece of fabric you have available, and you can indicate what number in your inventory it is. I also have the fabric grids. I like to use this to indicate if I have like an odd sized fabric, or if I have a big cut, like maybe a half yard, I'm trying to split it into multiple projects. What I will do is I will go into edit mode and maybe utilize my highlighter. And I'm going to say that my fabric is this big. Go down here. Maybe it's an odd cut, so it only goes to here. But then I have a little bit extra here. Go ahead and outline what my fabric is. And then I have an idea of what projects might fit onto this piece. I use this a lot if I'm kitting up a lot of different projects, because I like to be as not wasteful as possible with this expensive fabric that we have. If you go to floss, you have some preloaded floss inventories. New this year, we have Anchor, Forbidden Fibers, Leo and Roxy, and I think that's it. So if you go into any of these, you're going to go in, let's say we go into Classic Colorworks. You have an alphabetical list that gives you all of their flosses that you could have in your inventory, so you can indicate that yes, I have bamboo, and maybe it is in a certain project, and maybe I want to know what projects it's in. And then you can say, or you could maybe even say running low. I would, if I was actually doing this, be writing a lot neater than I am right now. You can also go back into floss, and if you have a designer or a dyer that I do not have listed here, you can do a create your own. So you can indicate what brand it is that you're tracking, and then you can duplicate the template and add additional pages. There are 2 sections for you to be able to create 2 additional that will link, and then you can always duplicate that floss as needed. I also have a pattern section. This includes an A to Z pattern list that is going to be, these are linked as opposed to how they were in the contact list. So maybe you want to list if you are tracking by either pattern or designer, you would decide which way you're alphabetizing, and you can select any of these and list those patterns there. You can also then say you want to easily get to M, you can select there and it will link back and forth. There is also just a symbol one in case it maybe starts with a number or doesn't start with a letter. Also new this year is a thematic pattern list. This list is going to be able to give you, I know like for me, I stitch, my various categories. I would indicate what category it is and just note the patterns that maybe I'm wanting to remember that I have that fit in that category. There's also a frames tracking. Works similarly to the fabric on the inventory list, that it has that reference number that then you can also track in your photo album there. As well as accessories. For this year, we've got needle minder photo inventory, so you can keep track of your needle minders, as well as your project bag photo inventory. Now to get back to the back, I'm going to go ahead and select my inventory add-ons, swipe to the left, and I am back in the digital planner. As always, I really hope that this is a functional tool for you and that you find it helpful in your stitching and your organizing. I appreciate you for checking it out and appreciate everyone that purchases. And if there's anything I can do to clarify or questions, or if you have ideas for what you might like to see in new add-on packs, I am always open to suggestions. So thank you so much for stopping by and keep making those X's.